Gervonta Davis called out Terence Crawford and claimed he could knock him out in 6 rounds, but now Terence has a warning for Davis. Terence has actually been called out by multiple fighters, and Jaron Ennis made sure to put his name into the mix. Jaron was asked about fighting Terence, and he stated, "I can't wait to take their cheese. I just keep saying that, keep doubting me, we love it all. When we take your cheese, keep that same energy. Don't try to switch sides saying, oh, I always knew he could do it. No, I ain't trying to hear none of that. Stay where y'all at, I see everything. Definitely, that's the first option, I want that now." Kenny Porter believes that this fight just isn't realistic though. Kenny stated, "I believe a guy like Jaron Ennis would provide a big challenge for him, absolutely, no doubt. I just think the risk and reward is with Boots. The risk is greater than the reward for Bud, and now Bud should be rewarded in everything he does. Boots is a very, very talented guy, a guy that has a lineage in boxing. His dad and his brothers were professional fighters. He's got a family of fighters behind him. Everyone is a piece in that puzzle that makes Jaron Ennis. On Terence's end, just me from a business standpoint, it doesn't look like it would be Terence's fight for me. It's not a winning situation. He beats this young guy. He was supposed to. If he doesn't, and it doesn't go his way. As for Terence, he doesn't see that fight being worth the trouble. Terence stated, fighting Boots is a lose-lose situation. If I win, they're gonna say he was young, he wasn't ready. This kid's never been tested before. I'm trying to go up and fight Jermell Charlo. That's history in the making. I've worked my ass off to get where I am, and I deserve to do whatever the I want to do. I don't care what nobody says, how anybody feels, them. On the other hand, people are calling for Terence to fight Canelo Alvarez, and at first, Terence wasn't seeing that being a potential bout. I don't know. Charlo has all the belts at 154. I have all the belts at 147. Me and Spence were the 2 top welterweights in the division. That was the biggest fight of the decade, a fight that's been marinating for 5 years. I don't see anybody else on that level of Crawford versus Spence besides Canelo Alvarez, but he fights at 168 plus, so I don't see me and him fighting. Now, Jaron Ennis could happen because we're in the same weight class, but you know, at this point in time, I'm looking for bigger and better opportunities like Jermell Charlo. Even Shakur Stevenson thought that Crawford would be able to beat Canelo.
I think Bud could beat Canelo. Like I said, I've been saying this. I don't think size win fights. I think skills do. So yeah, I think like being a southpaw with good movement and sharp boxing, it'd be hard for Canelo with that high guard to walk him down and load up on them big hooks. I think Bud would beat Canelo.
It looks as though Terence has changed his mind on Canelo as well, and he wanted to fight him at catchweight. Terence stated, "We can do something at a catchweight, probably 160 pounds or something. 158, yeah, 158, 160, that'll be cool." Either way, Canelo has to face another opponent that Terence has shown interest in fighting, Jermell Charlo. When predicting that fight, Terence stated, "I got Canelo. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Charlo. He's skillful. I think Charlo's got the boxing skills to make it a competitive fight." As for a fight against Jermell, Terence seems really interested in that fight. Jermell even showed interest in the fight, and he stated, "Bout to shock the world, 168, said Charlo on his Instagram account. Then I'm coming back to hold my throne at 154. I'm the king. Nothing will stop me. Mega fights from here on out. After my boy rematch, we can give the people what they want and make the Terence Crawford fight happen." Terence definitely isn't a fan of Jermell, and he gave a breakdown on what he really thinks of him. Terence stated, "I don't like Jermell for the simple fact that I feel he's a fake individual. I feel Errol is real. I feel he's genuine. I feel he stands on 10 toes on everything that he says or does. I feel like Jermell is just, one of those guys that do a lot for attention. I was cool with Jermell and Jamal and their older brother prior to me moving up in weight. For him to start bashing me and talking bad about me and saying I'm gonna get knocked out, just going out his way to talk little dick about me, I was just like, man, that's some hoe shit. We don't do shit like that. If you cool with him and you more cool with him, just say that and keep it pushing. You gotta act like no extra way and doing all that extra shit. No matter what Terence thinks of Jermell, he believes that a win over Jermell would solidify his claim of being the greatest. Terence stated, "I want Errol, then Jermell. Those are 2 history-making fights that I want. That's something that I've wanted for a long time, and for that to come to fruition, all I've got is Jermell now to solidify myself as the all-time great of all boxing. Fans are worried about some of these fights happening though, since Terence has been talking about retiring soon though. Terence stated, "I'm healthy as can be. I probably can fight until I'm like 45. But I always said I want to retire from boxing. I never wanted boxing to retire me. I always looked at old fighters and felt bad. They can't hold a conversation because of the damage they've accumulated. I want to be able to tell my story without somebody else telling it because I can't speak. I'm gonna retire on top." Before that happens, fans are really hoping Gervonta Davis gets his chance to back up his talk about knocking Terence out though.
I got a question for you, Tank. At 147, how does a fight with you and Terence Crawford look?
147? Tap that chin, you know he going to sleep.
I already know. I already know he
ain't
is.
got no chin.
I already know he is.
You said no chin.
I got round 5.
Shit, I got round.
We'll go with that. I'm gonna put my money around 6.
At first, Terence wasn't entertaining the idea of fighting Davis, and he pointed out the size difference between the two.
Tank gave a little prediction on the fight, talked about Errol has a metal shield and you have a glass shield, talked about the punch resistance. What do you think of Tank's assessment, man?
Don't see. Don't see.
Could he get it in the future?
Too early.
I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
Everyone's talking about Errol fighting the winner of Canelo and Jermell. Could you ever do that? Is that too much weight? Or?
What, 168? I ain't going up there.
Right.
So you got Canelo winning then, right? Then
Definitely. If he fighting at 168, definitely.
Shane Mosley thinks that it would be an interesting fight, but he believes there would be a stoppage. Shane stated, "If Gervonta Davis goes to 47 now and tries to fight Bud Crawford, I think that Crawford will probably maybe stop him. If Gervonta Davis takes some time to fill into the weight at 47, it could be a different fight. But I still say Crawford wins. I think that Crawford would have the big edge in that fight. But like I did it, I jumped from lightweight to welterweight to fight Oscar De La Hoya, and I was successful. But the difference with that is I was actually bigger than Oscar in the Olympics. I was 139 to his 132, so I was really a big fighter anyway. Gervonta Davis is coming from 26 from 30, so it's a little different." Brian Norman has sparred with both men, and no matter what size says about a fighter, he believes that Davis packs a bigger punch. Brian stated, "When I sparred with Terence Crawford, I was 20 years old and he tried to old man me and show me I was a boy. But even when you see him fight, he doesn't necessarily one-shot people. He beats you up, then he kills you. But as far as one-shot power and who got that, I gotta give it to Tank." Well, now Terence is open to a fight and he issued a warning to Davis. Terence stated, "No knock to Tank, but there are definitely levels. If he thinks he's gonna knock Terence Crawford out, he's got another thing coming. I'd stay at 147 pounds for him. That's a big money fight. But nobody's gonna give me credit. Tank's like 5'5". He's a little guy." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.